To start with, we need to open our chosen starter image. Just as a quick note, when you open an image that's from a camera, my Nikon here gives me an NEF file. You'll need to do a quick develop step, as you can see here. We're going to do all of the changes inside Affinity, so don't touch anything here. You just hit develop and it'll open as normal. So the first thing we need to do once we have the image open is to crop it. You'll see the crop tool over here on the left, just below the move tool. You click on that. You'll see here the unconstrained ratio. You click on that and then you want custom ratio that you can use for any image size, 30 by 40, 16 by 20, whatever works for your artwork. In this case, it's square, so I've got it at 1:1. And basically I drag it and you can see here that no matter where my mouse sits, it stays in proportion to the artwork. And I'm just bringing it so it's just close, but not touching the edge. I'm making it trim to the frame. If your artwork is not framed, you would bring it to the edge of the artwork itself. When you start creating your images at the end, you will be making 2 images if there is a frame. One that's without the frame and one with the frame. I'll get into all of that as we go along through this series. But for now, once your crop tool is in place, hit enter. And you're done. By the way, I know these details can be a lot to remember when you're actually sitting down to work. So I've put all these points into a free checklist linked below. It's a great tool for keeping track of your progress now and for future edits. The next step is to straighten. To do that, I use the Mesh Warp tool. Now you could use perspective first. I prefer Mesh Warp tool because it takes care of 2 things at once, which is the 4 corners of the artwork. And then if there's any kind of bowing, which can happen when there's a camera involved, because the lens is round, it sometimes will end up bowing the image just a little bit. So the Mesh Warp tool will allow me to edit those edges very minutely and accurately. I'm going to zoom in. I use the control and plus and minus sign. You can also use the control key and the mouse wheel. I like that one better. So now that we've zoomed in, I take this corner and I move it out until it's just touching the outside edge. And so I go around to all 4 corners. And I do this very quickly. I do it in 2 passes. The first is to get the general image in place. And then I go around one more time to perfect it, because I find once that the image is in place the first time, I often have to kind of tweak it a little bit more. I use the space bar for the hand to move this around. There we go. Okay. So as I go along, you'll see here that the edge is off by a little bit. You see this mid handle here. I bring it up vertically for the top and bottom, horizontally for the side, the left and right. The reason is you don't want to go all over the place, because at that point you're making it funky. You can do that for something completely new, but for this image, this has to be accurate. So top and bottom, I go up and down, not side to side, until that edge just touches. And I'm going along and I'm going to just check in. You see here, there's the angle there. And yeah, you see how that it went up too far? Very small changes. And yes, this is one of my artworks. I use it as an example because I don't need to pay for it. Okay, so you can see that it's very, very close, as in on the edge. Just one more tweak there. There's that handle. Okay. Now, Control 0 and hit enter. And the artwork is straight. Before you go do a skip and a dance, as you should, go to File, Save As. I'm going to save my file in this folder and call it a day. A couple of things to consider. Practice when you don't have a deadline looming. There's nothing worse than trying to scramble and get images ready to, say, apply to a gallery, art festival, competition, residency, especially when you don't know the software very well. If there's anything that's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong when there's a deadline. Try to avoid that. The other thing is, number 2, I would suggest doing a whole bunch of your images all at once. You get kind of in the flow and, it's just a lot more time efficient. When you do a bunch at once, you do get used to doing this that much easier, and it just gets that much quicker as a result. Congratulations, you have your straightened artwork and you're ready to go. Or are you? Ever wonder if your artwork's image is color accurate? It's not. I'm going to show you the exact formula that I have relied on for over 30 years. It takes 2 minutes. Stay tuned for that. Hit subscribe so you can be alerted. I'm Sonia Wilkinson. I help fine artists present their work so well their audience can't resist buying, awarding, and participating in their art business adventure. I'll see you in the next one.